WVII Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
Closing arguments happened this morning in the murder trial for a Stockton Springs mother accused of murdering her 3-year-old son. We have the latest. Good afternoon. I'm Susan Farley. It looks like the Ellsworth Police Department will be getting a new home, and it could be a couple of weeks before the damage done to some roads by rain over the weekend can be repaired. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Tuesday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. Alrighty, here we are. Small crowd advisory in effect until 8 p.m. on Wednesday. We have a cold front moving in, bringing a lot of rain and a lot of wind with it too, which is why we have these advisories in effect through Wednesday. On top of that, though, we have aerial flood watches in effect. This runs till noon on Wednesday. That's when the heaviest of the rain will be falling. Before then, though, once we get past then, things will begin to improve. Here's all this heavy rain right there, though. We have chances for showers and thunderstorms. The lightning tracker is lit up from time to time, too, so we're going to keep the chances for showers and thunderstorms going for most of the day. And, of course, we have to watch for a little bit more flooding in a few spots again in areas that definitely don't need it. Along this front right here, and a lot of the rain will be kind of staying put over the next day, but once we get towards Wednesday afternoon, things will finally begin to improve. Here's Futurecast right here. More showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the day. Some heavy downpours from time to time, but the focus shifts towards the eastern parts of the state overnight tonight into the daytime tomorrow. Otherwise, though, gusty winds on the way, reaching up to about 20 miles per hour in a few spots, but notice a sharp cutoff. We'll have a calm wind further off towards the west and the central parts of the state by Wednesday morning, but the eastern parts of the state could see some gusty winds up to 40 to even 50 miles per hour. That hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, showers and thunderstorms possible, temperatures in the 60s with gusty winds. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. Closing arguments happened this morning in the Jessica Williams trial. The Stockton Springs mother is accused of murder in the death of her 3-year-old son, Maddox Williams. Williams says Maddox fell because of a dog and was kicked by his sibling. The medical examiner testified he died because of battered child syndrome, and his injuries could not have been caused because of the reasons Williams gave investigators. The case is expected to go to the jury today. A former Calais police officer will spend 4 years behind bars. That was the sentence given to 55-year-old Jeffrey Bishop, who originally faced 35 counts after he was arrested for giving drugs to a teenage girl in a school parking lot. The Attorney General's office says the drugs were for the student's mother, and Bishop gave the mother drugs in exchange for sex. 16 stolen guns from Washington and Hancock counties were also found inside Bishop's home. 2 of the guns were stolen in a burglary at the Goldsboro town office where Bishop was previously a police officer. In August, Bishop pleaded guilty to 14 counts, including receiving stolen property, unlawful trafficking, aggravated furnishing, and stealing drugs. 21 counts were dropped as part of a plea agreement. Bishop will also spend 2 years on probation when he is done serving his sentence. A Glenburn man is being charged in connection with thefts in the Bangor Brewer area. Bangor Police Sergeant Jason McCambly says 48-year-old Alan Everett was arrested Sunday. McCambly says just after 10 a.m., officers found Everett's car near the homeless encampment on Cleveland Avenue in Bangor. They eventually found Everett inside a tent. According to McCambly, police do not believe he was staying at the encampment and that he was there to avoid arrest. Everett is a suspect in a theft from Walmart on Saturday. McCambly says he's also suspected in 4 other thefts in the Bangor Brewer area, as well as 1 burglary. He remains at the Penobscot County Jail pending his arraignment. Augusta police have released a photo of a man wanted for a bank robbery. They say this is the suspect that held up the Camden National Bank on Saturday morning. They say a masked man displayed a gun and demanded an undisclosed amount of money before running on foot. He's described as being 5 feet 7 inches to 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighs between 150 and 180 pounds. He was wearing a jacket and dark athletic pants, possibly with a light stripe. Anyone with information about the suspect is urged to contact the Augusta Police Department. The Ellsworth Police Department is going to have a new place to call home. Last night, the Ellsworth City Council voted 5-2 in favor of leasing the former Associated Builders location on High Street. Renovations will cost the city more than $1 million. Officials say that's still less than other proposals, which were estimated to cost up to $20 million. We'll have more on that story tonight at 6. Crews are still investigating a fire that happened at a Main Street residence in Stockton Springs Monday morning. Stockton Springs Fire Chief Vern Thompson says the fire was likely caused by an electrical problem in the second story of the multi-family home. Fire crews from multiple departments responded after the incident was reported around 6 a.m. There were 2 tenants in the building when the fire broke out, but they both managed to escape with no injuries.
It was just a hot fire because it's a brick building and with old wooden floors. It was built in 1871 and it was quite dry. Smoke was our biggest problem because we couldn't see in there, obviously, and we couldn't get to where we needed to open windows due to the floor was weak.
Members of the Red Cross have been in contact with residents. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Maine's Attorney General says a police officer was justified in shooting a man in Bangor despite a review of evidence that showed the officer was further away from the man than previously thought. Attorney General Aaron Fry conducted a second review of the shooting of Brian Barker, who was shot 3 times and survived in 2018. Fry said that his office determined the officer was a little more than 37 feet away from Barker and not about 15 as initially stated. Fry said Barker's movements leading up to the shooting still represented enough of a threat to justify the use of deadly force. People can now preview 2023 health insurance plans on Maine's health insurance marketplace. CoverMe.gov was created at Maine's state-run marketplace as a result of legislation signed into law by Governor Janet Mills in 2020 following unanimous passage by the legislature. According to a statement, next year, thousands of Mainers will save hundreds of dollars on average on their CoverMe.gov healthcare premiums due to enhanced premium tax credits. During this window shopping period in advance of open enrollment, consumers can use the Compare tool to evaluate policies and estimate costs without having to sign up. DHH Commissioner Jean Lambrou said, quote, even if you haven't qualified for financial assistance in previous years, it's worth checking again because coverage is more affordable than ever and there are new options for families. Open enrollment kicks off November 1st. Gas prices rose almost 3 cents a gallon last week. According to Gas Buddy's survey of more than 1,200 stations around the state, the average price is now $3.64 a gallon. That's more than 2 cents a gallon lower than a month ago, but 34 cents a gallon higher than a year ago. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, the Cross Insurance Center's Rotunda now has a new name. We'll tell you about it when we return.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size of the IRS to seize another $20 billion in new taxes from the middle class. And now Democrats openly threaten to raise taxes again next year. Jared Golden won't stop them. He votes with Biden and Pelosi 83% of the time. It's a war on the middle class, and Jared Golden marches with them. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you were hurt because of exposure to the toxic water at Camp Lejeune, Congress has made it possible for you to recover a settlement. Former Marine attorney James Beardsley wants to help you.
Call now to see if you qualify. Call 222-2222.
Joe Biden is crushing Maine. And who does Jared Golden support?
Golden's backing Biden.
Jared Golden said Joe Biden has
leadership that the country needs right now.
Higher taxes, record inflation, and still
Golden's backing Biden.
In D.C., Joe Biden relies on Jared Golden's votes.
President Joe Biden, and I'm asking you to vote for Jared Golden.
Jared Golden says he's independent, but anytime it matters, Golden's backing Biden.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
I'm Phil Levesque. president of Lebec Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963.
We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing.
Let us help you get back to business.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Road crews have been busy repairing damage caused by the weekend rainstorm, including in Glenburn, where a portion of a busy roadway will remain closed for a couple of weeks while repairs are made. Craig Colson has the latest.
This was the scene Saturday morning after heavy rains opened up across the area. Glenburn firefighter Andy Ryder was recording as a portion of Pushaw Road collapsed, making it difficult for anyone who needs to reach the other side.
Yeah, that's what happens when 5 inches of rain comes fairly quickly, and the pipe did let go. There were two pipes in there, a 3-footer and a 4-footer, and we're assessing right now as to what the best approach is.
DOT crews were on the scene early today to come up with a repair plan.
Well, we couldn't believe it because we've driven over it all the time. And in fact, we hadn't even noticed there was a stream here that would have to drain. So it was a big surprise to hear that it cut off the road.
Once the environmental concerns are addressed and the permits are in place, they'll come up with a plan on how to repair the roadway. Unfortunately, that means it could be another couple of weeks before the road is reopened.
Tomorrow's supposed to rain again. It's supposed to get up to a couple inches of rain, and so it'll probably be Thursday before it goes down again before we can really start digging.
How long do you think it would take after that to get it reopened?
It's going to be hard to say. With the plan we have now, hopefully in a couple weeks. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but hopefully it'll be less than that.
Yeah. We have friends that live on the other side, and we feel for them, for anyone that has to find the way around.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You guys kind of got on the lucky end of this whole thing.
Exactly, yeah. But it makes us think, going forward. We've started studying what is on our road now heading into town and what our options are.
In the meantime, anyone living past the break on Pushaw Road will have to take a detour to get around.
The Cross Insurance Center's rotunda now has a new name. It's now known as the Woodrow W. Cross Entrance after the founder of Cross Insurance. The city hopes to add to the Cross legacy with this new addition. Cross Insurance Center CEO Jonathan Cross and members of the Bangor community came to talk about what it means to see this finally happen. Jonathan described how proud he is to see his grandfather honored with the renaming.
It's incredibly special to our family, but I think it's also special to everybody that worked with and for my grandfather, and he had a tremendous amount of impact on a lot of people, and not just those of us that worked with him here in Bangor, but across the state.
Bangor City Council Rick Fournier says this plan has been in the works for a bit and knew it was only fitting to see Woodrow Cross's name displayed here.
It was only befitting that Woodrow was named to head this entrance, the rotunda entrance, and it's just very appropriate. I think it's wonderful to have a signature in cursive right on the wall. I think that's just going to go a long way.
The sign will be displayed on the intersection outside the Cross Insurance Center. VA Maine heard from area veterans about future changes to its facilities during a virtual listening session Monday afternoon. The agency fielded questions and suggestions about the future of its entry control points at all of its sites of care. The goal is to make the process of getting through the doors easier for patients.
I think parking is a problem for those that have a problem walking a distance, but if you don't, then the exercise is probably good.
VA Maine will consider all of the feedback given Monday as it looks to enhance the patient experience when entering care facilities. To learn more about future plans for VA Maine healthcare facilities, go to va.gov/Maine Healthcare. Not everyone can turn trash into treasure, but Maine Shellware can. As our Jody Hersey tells us, this family-run business uses discarded lobster, mussel, and clam shells to create man-made jewelry and gifts that are hard to resist.
Nothing goes to waste at Maine Shellware in Bangor. In fact, the company's main ingredient in their products is waste.
We clean it before we use it. I find a use for all of them, but my favorite is the bright ones.
Maine Shellware uses discarded lobster, mussel, and clam shells from area restaurants and businesses to make necklaces, cribbage boards, ornaments, and a variety of other products.
The shells are normally going to the dump, and I just felt like it was a really awesome way to make a keepsake. You know, people like to remember their trips to Maine, and I feel like this just encapsulates our state very nicely.
The company is owned by the Clam family. Although their last name is not spelled like the seafood, it could have been an indicator that this is what they were destined to do. Nicole Clam is the artist and designer. Her mother, Michelle, is in charge of the business and financial side of the company. Both are walking advertisements for their products.
When people say, "Oh, I like your necklace," I say, "Oh, my daughter made it."
Maine Shellware products can be found online as well as in area businesses like Rebecca's, Tiller and Rye, the Not So Empty Nest, and the Grasshopper Shop inside the Bangor Airport.
When we started, it really was, the focus on recycling, and I like to think we're trying to save the landfills one shell at a time.
And turning trash into one-of-a-kind treasures anyone would be proud to own. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
When we return, we'll tell you what you can do to improve your heart health, and it's easier than you might think. Details after the break.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out. If you wait too long to hire a lawyer, it may hurt your case. Call the twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $150,000.
You work the night shift. Take the extra shift. Wake up before dawn, and every paycheck you pay into Medicare and Social Security to fund the retirement you deserve. Bruce Poliquin voted to cut Medicare and put Social Security benefits at risk. He even wants to raise the retirement age. Pretty rich coming from a millionaire politician who's never had to pull an extra shift. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe Baldacci delivered by helping to pass more than $1 billion in direct tax relief for more than 95% of Maine taxpayers. Joe Baldacci delivered by passing laws to support Maine's small businesses across the board that provided tens of millions in direct relief, helping to protect and save thousands of jobs. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Delivering results for Bangor and her.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban. So even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
New Shark Tank Fridays on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Comfort Shoes and More, 19 Moosehead Trail, Newport. More than 40 years of helping people out of foot pain.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Now to the official launch of the Federal Student Loan Forgiveness website. Applications can now be filed for the program that could bring relief to as many as 43 million borrowers. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
Long-anticipated relief on the way for millions of Americans with student debt. StudentAid.gov now live, a new website where people can apply for federal loan forgiveness now through the end of next year. Applicants have to submit their information, including income, based on 2020 or 2021 taxes.
If you have federal student debt, please visit StudentAid.gov. It's easy, simple, and fast. More than 40 million Americans can stand to benefit from this relief.
The move forgives up to $10,000 for those earning less than $125,000 a year and $250,000 for a couple. That number goes up to $20,000 for low-income borrowers who received Pell Grants. President Biden fulfilling this campaign promise just weeks ahead of the midterm elections.
I'm keeping my commitment to relieve student debt as borrowers recover from this economic crisis caused by the once-in-a-lifetime pandemic.
Republicans are seeking to block this new relief, filing lawsuits to put the program to an end.
Republican members of Congress and Republican governors are trying to do everything they can to deny this relief, even to their own constituents. Their outrage is wrong and it's hypocritical.
Critics are concerned about the price tag of this program, with estimates saying this will cost the government hundreds of billions of dollars, nearly $100 million expected to go towards vetting applications alone. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
According to the American Heart Association, many Americans have suboptimal cardiovascular health. ABC's Justin Finch sheds light on what experts say you can do to improve it.
Sleep, BMI, blood pressure, lipids, blood sugar, physical activity, diet, and smoking. These are life's essential 8, a list recently updated by the American Heart Association to optimize one's cardiovascular health. Scoring is based on these 8 factors and is out of 100. Researchers found that 4 out of 5 Americans have a suboptimal cardiovascular health score. Adults scored lowest in diet, physical activity, and BMI. In children, scores were lowest in diet. The researchers noted a substantial opportunity for improvement in diet quality among Americans. Other factors like income and depression also played a role. For more, talk with your healthcare provider. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Stephen King's house always attracts tourists to the city of Bangor, especially this time of year. King, who is known for his popular horror novels such as Carrie, Pet Sematary, and Misery, has a home on West Broadway in Bangor. Crowds gathered outside his residence last weekend to take photos of his place. Many visitors also snapped pictures of themselves and their friends in front of this well-known landmark, including Linda Huffman of Arizona, who is in Maine enjoying a girls' trip.
Pretty impressive. I've seen pictures, but it's not the same as seeing it. You can just kind of see his face and think of some of his books.
And you're
it's
a
great.
big Stephen King fan.
I am indeed.
The 75-year-old author has written more than 65 novels throughout his lifetime. Stephen King's latest book, called Fairy Tale, was released in September. Have you ever started your car in the morning, looked out the window, and saw a moose? For Rob Nelesnik and his roommate Parker, that's exactly what happened. Rob was backing out to head to work when Parker saw the moose and yelled to stop. Rob got out his cell phone and captured this video.
Definitely surprising, an 800-pound creature galloping towards you. So, yeah, it was really neat, though.
Eventually, the moose lost interest and moved along. Rob says that doesn't happen very often in downtown Fort Kent. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
The Singer Estate Collection is the country's largest traveling estate event. Designs by Aaron brings this exclusive collection to you on October 20th. A variety of jewelry dating from the late 1800s to present will be available for purchase. All jewelry is fashioned in gold or platinum and sparkling with precious gemstones. Swing into downtown Bangor and visit Designs by Aaron on October 20th and find yourself a piece of history.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome back. Let's check your 5-day forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, happy Tuesday afternoon. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we are. Small crowd advisory up until 8 p.m. Wednesday, courtesy of gusty winds with a front, which is going to be helping to stir the ocean up. But on top of that, an aerial flood watch in effect too, and this will last until the noon time frame on Wednesday. Heavy downpours in these areas, especially later on in the early parts of tomorrow. They'll stop to watch at. These are areas that have seen rain that definitely don't need any more. And they're seeing some rain more today, though, with plenty of rain showers. No lightning at this point on the lightning tracker, but we have been watching for a few showers and thunderstorms that have been developing, which has caused the lightning tracker to light up from time to time as well. Let's give you the bigger picture, though. There's the lightning that's showed up from time to time. I think as the daytime progresses, we'll see a little bit more lighting, which is why we mentioned the chances for thunderstorms possible today, and also in the parts of tonight with this area of low pressure right about in here, tracking to the north and east. It's going to take its time, which is why it's going to take till tomorrow with the heavy downpours. It's pretty much behaving just like the last system with more heavy downpours that we definitely don't need. Otherwise, though, those gusty winds, here we are up to 25 miles per hour today, maybe even close to 30 miles per hour in a few spots. But really, as we head towards tomorrow, here we are, and we're going to have gusty winds in the eastern parts of the viewing area, getting up to 30, even 40 miles per hour, but dramatically calmer further off towards the west as that cold front begins to move through. Wave heights are increasing, 4 to 6 foot wave heights right now. This is why those small crowd advisories are in effect, and the lighter colors here help to indicate that even more higher surf will be possible soon. Our average high is 57 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 60s today, the upper 50s for you Wednesday, middle 50s Thursday, then warming up just in time for the weekend, back into the 60s. But moving forward, though, Futurecast, plenty of rain on the way today. This might be underdoing it just a little bit because more heavy downpours on the way later on tonight and in parts of the daytime tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms possible, maybe some flooding yet again. But by Wednesday afternoon, the cold front begins to track off towards the east. The sun comes out in Bangor, and eventually by the evening, everyone will begin to calm down with some clearing skies by Wednesday evening. So how much rain can we possibly see? This is on top of what's already fallen. So this is additional rainfall, though, up to another inch or two in some spots with dramatically lesser results to the west before we're all finished up. So a forecast for today, lower 60s, showers and thunderstorms likely, with that south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Already upper 40s, showers and thunderstorms likely again tonight. The wind calming down overall, but moving from west to east, so as the eastern parts of the state will still see some gusty winds later on tonight. Upper 50s tomorrow, some morning rain showers, then partly cloudy, south wind up to 20 miles per hour. Some gusty winds mainly in the eastern parts of the state. Scott's Recreation extended forecast, lots of sunshine Thursday and Friday, with temperatures in the middle to upper 50s. Lower 60s return Saturday with a mostly sunny sky.
Thank you, Devin. Holden Police Department will host its 3rd annual Candy with a Cop event this Halloween. All of this month, the police department is taking orders for anyone interested in gifting a candygram delivered by a Holden police officer. The department started the tradition during the pandemic as a way to spread Halloween spirit in a safe and fun way. Participants will be asked a series of questions about the person being gifted the candy. An officer will then make the delivery. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
87,000 new IRS agents. Jared Golden and the Democrats in Congress voted to hire them. They doubled the size